So this is the peppers I've been collecting the last week or two, and they're starting to get a little bit old or wilty, so I've got to take care of them. So I have my bell pepper plant that's green. I have these yellow ones. They're like miniature ones. Maybe the plant's brand new and needs to get bigger. I don't know. I've got these little teeny serrano, my jalapenos. I'm waiting for them to get big, but they're already starting to turn color. So I'm picking my jalapenos and banana peppers. So with that, I am going to be cutting them all up, putting them on a cookie sheet that's covered with parchment paper just so it doesn't stick later. And I want to put some gloves on. One time I didn't, and I was cutting jalapenos. Now jalapenos are the hottest out of all of these, so when you get the jalapeno juice and the little seeds on you, you might not notice it at first. You might not think it's a big deal, but then after a while, pretty soon your hands start feeling like they're on fire, and they literally get sunburned, like red. And then if you accidentally touch your face or scratch your nose or do anything, then your face will have red marks and feel like it's on fire too. It is not a good thing. So there's a couple of different techniques or different methods I've used. One is I just chop up the peppers and leave them in large quarters or large chunks. That's fine if you want to, at the end of the process when they're done drying, if you want to use a magic bullet or like a little chopping device and chop up all those dry peppers to get little finer pepper flakes or even more like a chili powder. This most recent time, I actually took the time to chop them up in smaller pepper flakes, and that way I didn't have to go and have a separate step after they are blended. I could directly put them into that little container or bottle that I've saved all my dried spices into and just left them a slight bit chunkier. I've got kids playing video games over there in the background. It's never quiet at my house. The good news is I can collect peppers for maybe a week or two and then just do a tray at a time. So I don't have to spend hours like I might doing when it's canning day or something else. So this could just be a quick little like 30-minute or, you know, some small little task. Get it over with, don't think about it again until it dries. And then just bring it in the house, get a funnel and put it in your jar. So these two jars, they're labeled differently so I can recognize the difference. Plus, I just like to reuse, recycle. I take the old spice containers I may have bought in bulk at Costco or something, and I soak the labels, scrub them with some soap and maybe a razor blade, and I just put my own label back on it so it looks a little bit more noticeable in the spice cabinet. So this one was my first set of peppers I did from last season. I still have quite a bit left in there, if you notice. It goes a long way. And it'd be great for food storage. You can keep it long term. So this one is the one I did with the finer Woo! Woo! That's toxic. You don't want to breathe that in. That's literally like a bomb. Woo! That'll clean the sinuses out. So this one is the one where I cut them in large quarters, let them dry out in the sun for a couple of days, and then I brought them in and chopped them up in the magic bullet. And the trick is to only do a small amount in that little blender at a time so that it can chop up real fine. Another tip, do it outdoors. I did it indoors one time and my family could not breathe when they came home. The fumes were toxic. It was through my entire house. Everyone felt like there was pepper spray going through the house. Even when you open up the lid after you have blended it, you have to put it away from you when the powder comes out of it. It is very, very strong. This one is the most recent one I started with the peppers I've been growing this season. It's that full already. So I guess it depends which work you want. Do you want a little more work in the beginning where you're chopping it up finer now? Or do you want to have to take the time after and go blend it up in small amounts outdoors to get that fine powder? So it really depends what you really want. I think they're fantastic to have both around. I mean, do you have in your spice cabinet right now a powder and maybe chili peppers? A lot of Italian restaurants, when they serve their pizzas, will have the crushed pepper. So I guess it's for different purposes. You might want to have a little bit of both. Make it a little variety. So I've got a good enough pile here. I'm going to go ahead and discard the seeds and the tops into my bowl here. And then I'm going to take my favorite Cutco chopping knife here, holding the blade flat My left palm is holding the tip of the blade. My right hand is going to be chopping like a rocking motion. I'm gonna chop in one direction, change the knife, rocking the knife this direction. And as I do that several times, I'm gonna re-scoop the peppers back into a pile and keep doing that until I get them chopped fine enough. Well, I finished that bowl. It gave me 2 trays. Time to take them outside in the sun. Ah, it's windy out. So usually I stick my peppers up here on the top of my garden wall and just let them dry in the sun. But I don't know. I don't want them to blow off again. So maybe I'll leave them here on top of the grill just so they can be outside. And then when the wind dies down, I'll put them up on that top shelf. Yeah, terrible timing. Okay, so I'm out here grilling for dinner time, and I just remembered that I did bring the peppers outdoors yesterday for a couple of hours to get some sunshine. I dried them inside most of the time the last 2 days just because it's been windy here. Yesterday was still and calm, and so I brought them out, and I just remembered that I need to go check them out and see how they're doing. So let's go check it out. So I stick them up here on top of this garden wall. That sun is super bright. Oh no! What the heck? They blew away. Ugh. Looks like they're all over the sidewalk. That is so annoying. All that hard work. I don't have any more peppers to dry either. I'll have to wait a couple weeks, I guess. Unfortunately, that's what I get for bringing them outside in the sun when it was a little bit windy still. Dang it. Sorry guys, no happy ending to today's tutorial, but as usual, if you liked the video you saw today, like below and subscribe. Future up and coming videos are based off of 5 different pillars of my category of my loves. My family, my hobbies, my gardening, fitness, and health. See you guys soon. Guys, wait. All hope is not lost. I was checking on my garden, and hidden underneath the peppermint is a huge pile, safely protected, of my dried peppers. I'm gonna save them and use them. There, 5-second rule, right? Good as new. All right. At least there was a sort of happy ending.